What is up, guys? It's Fernando back with another video. Today we have my SmackDown recap and review for the June 5th episode. We had a pretty decent episode, I would say. It's been better than the last few weeks of SmackDown that we've had, and this King of the Ring tournament has really helped boost these SmackDowns because they're able to give us Fatal 4s, which we don't normally get, and all the big stars are able to wrestle on the weekly shows. So I feel like that's really added to Raw and especially SmackDown with the lack of like good wrestling and good storylines. I mean, it's kind of a basic storyline, but it's added to the show, and it makes it enjoyable. So let's get into it. We start the show off by Gunther coming out and crashing out about how his foot was underneath the bottom rope and that that it was unfair that he was unable to beat Cody Rhodes at Clash in Italy. And then Cody Rhodes comes out of the ring, confronts him, saying that he can get his rematch whenever he wants. And then Sami Zayn comes out and he gets all up in their business, talking about how he wants a shot at Cody Rhodes. Now, this whole thing, it was obviously everyone knew what was coming. Was this a reaction from Gunther? And like I said before, this is just the laziest way of booking. I mean, there's no thought process behind this besides the fact that he's going to crash out, that his foot was under the bottom rope. I mean, this is the dumbest way to build a storyline, and it sucks because Gunther and Cody is a rivalry that deserves a little bit more, a little bit something, and they're just not going to give it to us. They're going to deprive us of some good storytelling. And the only thing that I would say is good about this is, believe it or not, is Sami Zayn. The fact that he said that Cody told him that he would get his match after Gunther, that he was going to teach him a lesson, and now Sami Zayn's kind of put himself in the middle of here and told him that he wants the title shot, and the crowd was up and down with Sami Zayn, and he's done a real good job turning into something that isn't just boring old babyface Sami Zayn. You kind of want to slap him sometimes, but then you feel for him, and he kind of makes sense, and his complaints are valid, and it's just a good fit right in the middle of this weird story between Cody and Gunther. So I like where this is going. I mean, are they going to run a triple threat? Are they going to run the Gunther and Sammy one more time? We'll see. Later on in the show, we had Nick Aldis come in and tell Cody that he's going to get the rematch, but there's a stipulation that Gunther wants to reveal next week, which, again, just adding like a mystery component to this already lackluster, stupid, ridiculous storyline is stupid. Like, now there's like, what's the stipulation going to be? Who cares? Who cares? There's not enough build for it to be something meaningful. So, overall, everyone saw this coming. So we get a short segment with the Miz finding where Danhausen's experiments are going on. He goes in there to see what's underneath that blanket. Danhausen tells him to don't touch it, and he ends up getting electrocuted. And again, this Danhausen experiment stuff is leading to something. I wonder how big this is really going to, if they're going to just keep doing like him, no one's allowed to touch his experiment, or if something's going to eventually lead and become bigger. But it's entertainment, it's funny, so let's keep this going. Next, we had a really, really good match for the Queen of the Ring tournament. We had Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley versus Jacy Jayne versus Kiana. This match banged. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. It was a good showing on every single person here. Obviously, Raquel looked like a monster. She was built as the powerhouse of this Fatal 4-Way, dominating, needing multiple women to take her out. Bayley had a good showing. She was getting cheered, getting that Bayley chant over in Italy. So she did good. Jacy Jayne is amazing. She's going to get booed wherever she goes. Character work is great. And then Kiana James just seems like she's putting on like good match after good match after good match, and we got a payoff here. So anyways, Raquel Rodriguez ends up picking up the win by pinning Kiana James after Kiana went for a roll-up, and there was a little bit of a mix-up, and she thinks that Julia took her feet off the rope as she was trying to use the ropes to get the pin here. So Raquel wins. I'm going to start with that. I think this was a good winner here. With her and Liv in the Queen of the Ring tournament, there's a storyline that could be built there. They've had like some friction between them two for a while. It kind of faded away, so I think they got rid of that storyline. But with her and Liv both in the tournament, they can meet somewhere down the line, and we could do something, give Liv something, because Raw, she hasn't been doing shit for the last month or two. So Hopefully WWE can come to their senses and do something with that. But I don't mind the choice of Raquel Rodriguez winning here. JC Jen, I wanted her to win because I just think she's the best. And but anyways, I like the decision. And then after the match, we have Julia and JC Jane, or not JC Jane, Julia and Kiana James getting into it, and they end up finally WWE does a full on payoff. We have I would assume babyface turn by Julia. She ends up attacking Kiana James, and they're just going back and forth. So it looks like they have officially split up. I am shell shocked by this decision. It was. I mean, you could see it coming, but this is the one thing that WWE they just keep like prolonging, and then they just release these two. But no, we got some payoff. So we have a little bit of a storyline for Julia, and the crowd was really into it. They helped the moment. Another thing about these crowds is WWE needs to utilize these electric clouds to get shit over, to make something. It adds a little bit more meaning than United States crowds, and they can just experiment with stuff and throw it to the Italy crowds because they're going to make noise. So I'm glad we got that. That was really exciting. Then we get Nick Aldis. He basically comes to Sammy in the backstage area and tells him to stay out of the WWE Championship business between. And then Sami Zayn crashes out on him. Another great little addition here, where Sami Zayn is like, why are you telling me I can't do this? Basically, just going at his boss, which it was a great little segment. And then we had Chad Gable come in, and he's having a meeting with Nick Aldis. And later he comes on and apologizes to Rey Fenix, who was in the backstage area, saying that now he respects the luchador and luchador history and all that kind of good stuff. And but it seems like he's a babyface, and it popped every time Chad Gable was shown on the screen. He popped, and they did a really good job of featuring some of the AAA champions throughout the night. Dominic Mysterio, the War Raiders, Rey Fenix. So I think they're gonna do maybe even a little bit more of combining the main roster and AAA. We'll see where this goes. But yeah, it should be interesting. I really think they're trying to. They saw what AAA did with the mass versus match, and they are really, really open their eyes to maybe bringing more of that talent onto the main roster. And then we get Royce Keys versus Tala Tonga. What the fuck are you doing, WWE? What is WWE's obsession with not letting people that are 6'8" and up take pins? Like, we've done a half decent job of, after leaving Royce Keys on the shelf for months at a fucking time, and now he just takes a pin to Tala Tonga for no reason. This is the I don't know how they're creating storylines for these people, but they can't for anyone else. Like the MFT, I'm done. Fuck the shit ass match. I'm not even gonna talk about it. It was a fucking horrible decision. Then we have another good segment. We have Rhea comes to the ring. She's cutting her promo about her being WWE Championship. Charlotte comes out saying she wants the WWE Championship, and then Tiffany Stratton comes out saying that she wants the WWE Championship, and then Jade Cargill comes out saying she wants the WWE Championship. And this image, this vision of them all in the ring, it really hit me that this SmackDown women's roster is loaded. If WWE wants to take some people out of the tag team division, they've got main eventers left and right. And that they've got young stars that are already main eventers that feel like they belong in that conversation. Seeing them all in the ring, I'm like, wow, we have a main event scene in the women's division for time to come. Like every match is interesting. Rhea Jade was good. Rhea Charlotte is good. You could do Rhea Tiffany. You could do Tiffany Charlotte again. I mean, but it's entertaining. It's in good hands. But anyways, we get into the match. And they're going back and forth. It's Jade Cargill and Michin versus Rhea or Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton. Matches whatever, and then they're working Charlotte the whole match, and Tiffany ends up taking the pin here from Jade Cargill. I don't understand this decision. You have a Michin who is literally meaningless in this whole fucking feud. To take the pin here, and you have your champion take the pin, all to make Jade Cargill look good. Another thing is, one more complaint is, I do criticize Jade Cargill quite a bit. Her in-ring work, she's able to get by with it. She's able to get by with it. She's done a pretty good job. W just needs to take the mic away from her. Just take the microphone out of her hands. Let her go to do her in-ring work, and try to win over and prolong that as much as you can. use up all that as much as you can, because she needs some real help on the mic, because every time she hops on the mic, it's just miserable. But overall, I just really like the whole segment where you're able to feature all the women, and even though you bring the mid card title, the United States Championship, into the main event scene and have it featured in that way. So I give that a thumbs up. Then we get Carmelo Hayes versus Ricky Saints in a one-on-one match. Ricky Saints attacks him before the bell. They go back and forth. It's a pretty good match. It ends up with Ricky Saints rolling up Carmelo Hayes, grabbing his pants, and cheating his way to a victory here. This is good for the mid card title scene, especially with Trick Williams as a champion. But it's gonna be a struggle for Ricky Saints here. I called it from the get go. I just don't see it. His character is real basic. It's a cocky, just a cocky guy with a high ego, and it just doesn't work. And it's not even working in Europe, which is kind of sad. He can't even get a pop out in Europe. He can't get a pop out in Italy. The dude just can't. He's got a steep mountain to climb if he wants to be a player here on the main roster. But I'm all for it. I'm all for featuring these guys on TV, because WWE seems to just forget about them sometimes and leave them in catering for months. But I'm glad they're getting some matches and some run time here, so I'm not going to complain about that. And then we get another decent match. Another one I'm happy that was put on the card. We have Lara Sargent versus Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green is phenomenal. She's doing a great job with this whole story with her and Tiffany. Tiffany not willing to be her friend, and Chelsea wanted to be her friend, and she looks completely helpless, and you feel bad for her, and it's just fantastic. Anything that Chelsea Green wants to do, she puts her mind. She's gonna do it, and she's gonna get it over. That she's such a great worker. But anyways, they go into the match. It's kind of a short match, and ends up with a cool reversal where Chelsea Green's going for the unprettier. It gets switched into the Lash extension, and Lash Legend ends up picking up the victory here. Good win. I like it. Again, it's just like the last match I was talking about. I'm glad we're getting these superstars featured on TV in minor storylines that are just a little bit entertaining. That's all you have to do. That's all we're asking for. It's the bare minimum nowadays, and which is kind of sad that that's what we're asking for. But anyways, I like this little segment here. And finally, we get into the main event for the King of the Ring qualifying match. We have Damian Priest versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio versus Braun Breaker versus Trick Williams. This is a real good match. It's a real good, fast-paced, hard-hitting. A lot of people were just trading strikes back and forth throughout the whole match. We have Dirty Dom weaseling his way through the whole match, trying to avoid all the heavy artillery, all the weapons here. It eventually ends with Judgment Day shenanigans. Liv Morgan distracts referee from someone getting pinned. JD McDonough comes in and provides another distraction. Liv hops in the ring and ends up low blowing Damian Priest, which sets up a 619 after Braun Breaker and Trick Williams went through the announce table, and we have Dirty Dom picking up the victory here. And I'm all for this. This was an absolute shocker. It was either Braun Breaker or Trick Williams for me. That was it. It was either those who were going to win, and I was 100% sure either one of those two was going to win. But they give the victory here to Dirty Dom. And that's one more thing WWE has lacked these past few months, is just surprises. Just pull the trigger on something. Give us just something, and just give us a shock factor. Just a little bit of shock value, and you can make it work. Obviously, Trick Williams is going to go down that path of the mid-card with Ricky Saints and Carmelo Hayes. Braun Breaker's the big question here. I don't know what they do with him, but he was able to wrestle here on SmackDown. And then you obviously have Dirty Dom picking up the victory. And now you have him going on to face Obafemi. That's going to be an absolute comedy. That's going to be match is going to be absolutely great. It's going to be so goddamn entertaining. Maybe there'll be shenanigans involved, and is Dominic going to pick up a victory? I don't know what's going to happen down on Raw, but like I said, I liked the decision here. It adds intrigue. That's all I have to say. It was a good match, and a good surprise. A good surprise to end the night. After the show started off a little bit hot, kind of cooled down, but at the end, this surprise really made up for it, in my opinion. But anyways, like I said, the show, it was overall, it was pretty good. I'll probably give it maybe a 6.8 out of 10. Due to these WWE standards nowadays. That's it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm really doing my best. I'm gonna try and get, like I said, I'm gonna try and get up as many videos as possible about all types of things. But thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one, and have a good one.